much for stopping by. I make videos twice a week, so on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your tiny love and support of my channel. And I'm really hoping you're enjoying my content. So today's video is going to be a review on the Bondi Sands Self Tanning Foam in Ultra Dark. Now, my boyfriend got me this for Valentine's Day back in February, and just been getting around to do this review now, which is naughty of me because I should have had it done when I got the tan, but hey ho, just couldn't get around to it. But I'm going to review it now when I have some time. And yeah, this tan retails for, I think it's £17 or £18. You can get it in Bondi Sands website, Boots, Superdrug. I'm sure other places stock it, but I'm not entirely sure. Just depending on your area and where you live, just look where you can find the tan. But it is a good, widely available tan, so definitely I will link down below where I know to get it. But if you're in the UK, Boots, Superdrug and Bondi Sands UK online. So it is a decent enough price. It is slightly on the higher end. I think it's mid-range for like a tan. It isn't like as high end as like Saint Tropez, but it isn't as cheap as like Sunkissed or Saint Moriz. Some people say Saint Moriz, but I just say Saint Moriz because it's weird like that. But yeah, just sums me up and it's weird. But yeah, it's a decent price. And you get, it's actually a bigger size compared to other, no it's not. So you get 200 mils of tan, so it is a decently average sized tan. So the bottle's like nice packaging. I love like the black and like the gold packaging of it. And I love the way it says ultra dark. It's very similar to the dark packaging, but you can't distinguish it because like the dark one would have like the writing all over and it'll be bolder, like whereas this writing's more kind of subtle and it just says ultra dark, so you can kind of distinguish it. But just be careful and read the label before you buy or pick up one of them tans, just to make sure you're getting the right one if you want ultra dark or if you want dark. But yeah. So the colour of this is very olive. It's like a nice dark colour when you put it on the guy colour. It's a nice olive tone, which I love. I prefer an olive based tan compared to like a warm base. I would love to try a violet based tan, that's up next on my list. But this tan is very olive, which I really love. So when you apply it on, it goes on really evenly and smooth, and it's quite dark so you can see where you're applying it. Typically I use one of them velvet mitts, so you can get them from Bold, Belmianta. I have one by Bold. I have one by Bold and I have one by Belmianta. And the Bold one I've had for a year and a half and it's still good as new. It is a bit better, but it just still works as well. See them cheap, foamy, crappy mitts? Don't use them. Just invest in a good velvet mitt and it'll last you years. The guide colour is dark, so it's good. And when you apply it, you can wear it out because it is even, it isn't streaky. Most mousses are even, I find. Lotions are more like the streaky tans you can't wear out, but mousses you can just wear the guide colour out, say, if you're going on a night out, a day out, or wherever you're going to go when things reopen this time. But yeah, wore it out on many nights out, days out, just throughout the day. I just wear it, I don't really care. And I leave it on for overnight, so like the 8-hour thing. Or when I apply it in the morning, I usually wash it off the next morning or like that night. Basically just depends on what mood I'm in. So I would never leave it on for like an hour. This one is an express, so you have to leave it on for the minimum of 4 to 6 hours, but 8 hours is like recommended basically. So I just suits me. So when you wash this tan off, like the guide colour off, it is decently dark, but that's what I love about it. It still stays really dark. It doesn't go like light on you. You know the way some tans, you put it on, it's super dark, you're loving it, you're loving life. When you go to rinse it off next morning, half the tan comes off and you're like, where is my tan? This one doesn't do that. When you rinse it off, the guide colour just, it's the same, basically it's similar tone to the guide colour. It just leaves a nice beautiful dark tan. Like I would say, because I'm naturally an NC10, I'm pale, so when I put this on, it doesn't go very ultra dark, because like what's ultra dark to someone who's NC20 is different to what my skin goes. But it is decently dark. It's a version of ultra dark, but if I put on 2 layers, I could double coat it, I get ultra dark, which I love. I love a good ultra dark tan. I do that especially for nights out. I wish these nights out will happen soon, but they will do. Positive thinking. But yeah, it is a good tan. The wear time, I would say I get a good 4 hours. 4 hours? What am I saying? 4 days out of a good wear time before I have to scrub it off. Now I do have a fast skin cell turnover. I feel like I'm repeating myself in every video doing about tans, but bear in mind, so if you have a slower skin cell turnover, you might find you get longer out of it, but typically I tan twice a week, so every 3 days I would exfoliate, moisturise certain areas and then do my tan. Just that's what works for my skin, but what works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you. Just basically just tailor it to your own skin and how you like to tan. But I tan all the time. Basically, I love to have a tan. So this one is one of my favourites. And it doesn't wear off patchy, it wears off quite smooth. Like some tans do wear off patchy. This one doesn't, it wears off quite smooth and just fades evenly. I find it doesn't really dry your skin out as much, but when you have the guy colour on, I find it's tacky for a while, which is a good and bad thing. A good thing, it doesn't dry your skin out, but a bad thing, you have to kind of stand there and wait for it to dry for longer. When you put the clothes on, like it kind of leaves lines and you're just like, you have to blend it with your mitt, so it's a bit of a nuisance that way, but it's worth it because it isn't as dry. Now, every tan you use will dry your skin out to a certain degree, so you need to moisturise once you take this tan off and before like your dry areas. So it's important to moisturise, like prep and maintain your tan to keep, like to make sure it fades evenly, it lasts nicer and just looks nicer for longer basically. So that's just a given. So it's a lovely tan, I absolutely love it. So the smell of it's a nice kind of really coconutty smell. It isn't too overpowering, but it isn't subtle either, it's like in between. It's gorgeous, it is gorgeous, I love it. It's one of my favourite smelling tans and I've got it all over my hand, which is delightful. But yeah, I prefer you tan cherry Reese over this, but I love this tan. I'll definitely recommend it for anyone who's looking for an ultra dark tan. I will show you clips before, during and after now. Before applying the tan, now obviously I've still got some tan left over from my last tan after exfoliating. And then just after I've applied it, so you can tell just nice and brown. So yeah, definitely recommend it for you if you like an ultra dark olive tan and when it lasts a bit longer and doesn't dry your skin out, you'll love this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope I didn't ramble too much, which I do. I always ramble. I know I'm a weirdo, but what can you do? What can you do if I could speak properly? So stay gorgeous. Bye.